Hello and welcome to the 20th episode of XCOM Enemy Unknown. If you weren't with us last time, an interceptor managed to shoot down what they're calling the alien overseer ship, and so the crew is on their way to take on its crew and explore the wreckage in hopes of making a bit of a breakthrough in the overall war. There have been many ups and downs so far in this fight against the aliens, but it wasn't until our last episode that we finally saw a victory that seemed to have more meaning than just, beating a particular small group. Hopefully that will carry through today and something good will come of it. However momentous the events of the day end up being, it starts off simply enough. The soldiers begin dispersing from their landing point, searching for aliens, and we see Evan's efforts rewarded by finding a pair of Muton elites. Kuznetsova gets first crack at one and manages to wound him. She goes back for a second helping, and she leaves him badly battered but still alive. Baroto is going to try to remedy that with a rocket.
Won't even know what hit him.
And he successfully took out the wounded Muton and badly wounded the other. Evans is going to use her run and gun ability to get closer, and let's see what she can do.
Taken care of.
She smoked him like a pro, so that's 2 up and 2 down. Hopefully the soldiers can keep it up.
X-ray spotted.
The Muton elites are no slouch, but a sectopod is even more of a challenge, so Evans comes back to get out of his line of sight, and all of the others position themselves both for defense and to maximize their ability to focus fire on him when he comes around that rock formation.
I don't think we're alone out here.
Unfortunately, even when Evans goes up to try to do some recon, she can't see him, and they don't know which way he's coming. So the squad is doing its best to position themselves. Vorobyov takes the chance to kill that drone while it's on its own, and Kuznetsova is going to smoke the other one.
No longer a threat.
So the sectopod is still walking around out here somewhere, and that's not good. But on the other hand, at least the 2 drones are out of the way. And they can be problematic if they repair him during the battle. Now, of course, the mystery of where the sectopod has gone has been solved, but the difficulty in killing him has not. Evans is the only one with a good shot. No one else even has a good angle to get to him. So once again, they're going to shuffle around and try to set things up for the next few minutes.
Come get some.
So the XCOMers have done their best to get in position to cut him to pieces, but he's not cooperating. So now Vorobyov does a little scouting, and we see the sectopod is more or less stuck in that corner. Evans is going to move forward to act as human bait of a sort, and once again the others will hunker down and get ready to see if they can take him on.
Roger. I've got my eyes on.
So the sectopod cut loose with a barrage that affected a whole area. Vorobyov is the only soldier who was hit, but the alien also managed to damage himself with the attack. Now his wounds are fairly severe, so he is going to move off behind cover and use the medikit to stabilize his condition. That should leave him fit and ready for combat once again. The rest of the crew is going to adopt a defensive pose. That sectopod is still not quite come around the corner to the point where they can really let him have it.
What was that sound?
And I suppose that it was just a given that with all of their attention focused on trying to catch that sectopod, another group of aliens would come upon their position. So now they have 2 Muton elites to deal with, and that sectopod's still on its feet. Palmer's going to try to take a chunk out of this big robot with a rocket.
Firing rocket.
Baroto tries to follow that up with a shot of his own, but whiffs. Kuznetsova goes next and has decidedly more impact.
Going in for the kill.
Unfortunately, those Muton elites are pretty far away, so Evans runs up to get closer. Still doesn't have a great shot, so she settles for what she's got. Since Vorobyov is all patched up, he comes back out to join the party. And Kuznetsova is going to try and finish that one. Evans wounded, but can't connect. It's pretty clear they're not going to kill these two before they have a chance to shoot back. So Baroto lays down some suppressing fire, and Vorobyov will throw a smoke grenade. Hopefully the combination will keep the crew safe. Bernard's also going to take a shot here. Unfortunately, he manages to hit nothing more vital than a fallen tree stump. Baroto did leave himself flanked in order to lay down this suppressing fire, and he pays the price here. He's going to need to get behind some serious cover, or we'll be at risk of losing him. The other Muton elite takes aim at Kuznetsova, but fortunately her elevation apparently helped keep her safe. None of the soldiers has a good shot or even really an angle of approach, so Kuznetsova goes ahead and backs off as far as her flight suit will allow. The others shift around as best they can, and Palmer is going to pick up the baton of laying down suppressing fire.
Back online.
I feel, Commander.
No surprise that suppressing fire is more effective if you're shooting from behind cover, so Palmer escapes any and all harm. Unfortunately, Bernard is not the beneficiary of suppressing fire, and so even though he's behind cover, he gets burned pretty badly. Kuznetsova is going to go to work, and she tags one of them with her first shot. Her second shot did the trick, and there's one less alien to worry about. Bernard shifts to a little safer location and uses a medikit on himself so that he won't be in quite as imminent a risk of dying. Unfortunately, as Evans moved forward to try to get a flanking angle on that surviving elite, she manages to run across a sectopod and another pair of drones. So they are going to have their hands full here for the next couple of minutes.
They're trying to pull back.
Since this Mouton was obliging enough to move into the exact same spot that his comrade occupied moments ago, Kuznetsova decides to go for a repeat performance and scorches him for nearly lethal damage. Bernard goes after that drone and doesn't quite manage to disable it. But Evans is not fooling around and she trashes it. With the XCOMers being forced to split their attention between two very dangerous aliens, Palmer lays down suppressing fire in the hopes that at least one of the two will be kept from doing any harm here. Vorobyov is going to try to take out the remaining drone, but just like Bernard moments ago, he falls just short of finishing the job. The Sectopod is out of range, but that Mouton Elite was strangely passive. Nonetheless, Vorobyov shifts over and fixes up Baroto as best he can, so he's ready to fight again. Kuznetsova takes her deadly aim and finishes off another Mouton Elite. Looks like Bernard will not be earning the nickname Drone Killer today. He came up empty, managing only to hit the broad side of a spaceship. Fortunately, Evans has a little bit more accurate aim and she polishes it off.
Roger that. Scanning.
And if you're curious what happened to that Sectopod, wonder no more. Those area barrages do pack a bit of a punch, but really Bernard was the only one badly hurt. The others are going to continue the process of working their way forward and trying to get into position to attack that Sectopod.
Moving to Overwatch. Eyes peeled, Commander.
Scanning.
Eyes peeled, Commander.
I'm sure the soldiers are hoping that he does not repeat that bombardment. It could start to hurt after a while. Evans moves up but still can't see him. Vorobyov draws the short straw and does make contact. Looks like a rare instance of a Sectopod actually backing up into his spaceship. Kuznetsova will have none of his retreat and nails him hard. Let's see if she can repeat that. She does indeed, with a shot that was a thing of beauty. So that Sectopod is considerably the worse for wear. Looks like no one else is going to be able to get a shot off at him, with the possible exception of Vorobyov. So Bernard is going to throw a smoke grenade his way and try to keep him from bearing the brunt of the Sectopod's wrath. Vorobyov does indeed take a shot, and he even manages to connect. Unfortunately, these are tough customers, and it's not enough to blow them to hell. The massive robot draws down on Evans as she crouches behind half cover, but somehow, almost miraculously, he misses. Next up in the crosshairs is Vorobyov, and despite him being behind better cover, he gets tagged. Palmer wants to get in on the kill, and he makes a critical mistake, forgetting that Sectopods have a innate kind of Overwatch ability, so he gets nailed by reaction fire. And in the end, he's rewarded for his pains with a clean miss. Vorobyov manages to do a little bit better, but again he's chipping away at a very large target. Now it's Baroto's turn to draw down, and that's all she wrote. With no more alien threats imminent, it's time for a round of repositioning and reloading.
Reloaded.
It's killing time.
Vorobyov is badly wounded, but he's going to use this last medikit charge on Palmer. They want both of the heavies as healed as possible and ready for duty on the front line for this last push into the alien spacecraft.
Roger. I've got eyes on.
The XCOMers are not going to stop being careful, but they are pretty confident that they've wiped out all the patrols at this point. They're going to do their best to heal up, reload, and just get ready to enter that ship. Just as Vorobyov used his last medkit charge on someone else, even though he was wounded, Bernard's going to do the same thing. The first one goes to Vorobyov himself, so that he's at least not as banged up. And the second is going to be used to just heal up the last remaining damage on Baroto. The strategy is pretty simple. Bernard is the lowest ranking officer in the squad, the least dangerous, if you want to put it that way. So he'll hang back in this final area and let the others be in as good a shape as possible for the fight. At this point, the squad has searched enough to have a pretty good idea that what they're looking for is behind this last door. They're going to position their hardest hitting members to get the best shots they can. And with that done, they open the door.
This is unlike anything else we've previously identified. Based on its physical appearance, I would assume this alien doesn't rely on brute strength. I recommend the troops exercise extreme caution, Commander.
I think I liked it better when the weapons were obvious.
Commander, that device, it seems to be of great importance to them. Retrieving it for further study should be our highest priority.
Now that the doctor has finally stopped talking, the crew will try to do exactly that. Kuznetsova kicks things off with a solid shot, but it looks like it's barely phased this new alien. Not one to be easily discouraged, she lines up a second shot, and this time it seems like it hit him a lot harder. Vorobyov tries to do the same, but can't make it happen. That leaves Baroto to take a shot at one of the Mouton elites, lest they feel left out. He tags one with his first shot and hits him again with the second. It's not quite down yet, but it's getting close. Evan steps up and she finishes the job on this ethereal, as they've started calling him. With everyone else having taken their shot, Palmer knows there's going to be at least one dangerous opponent standing, so he simply suppresses both. The cover fire works all too well. The Mouton elites don't even take a shot. Baroto, on the other hand, is not feeling quite so inhibited, and he finishes the one off. Palmer tries to follow suit, but misses. Let's see if he can do better the second time around. No. Evans does not want to see this firefight go on any longer than it absolutely must, so she shifts to a more advantageous angle and takes rapid fire shots. Tags him the first time and plants him with the second. And that's a wrap. Everybody's coming home safe and sound, and they're bringing with them that device the science crew is so eager to get their hands on.
recovered from a cloaked ship and guarded by the most powerful being we've ever encountered. What do you think it is?
An object of immense power. Think of all we could do if we unlocked its secrets.
A dangerous sentiment, Doctor.
Sir, I'm picking something up.
Another cloaked ship?
No, sir. It's big.
Tell me that was a coincidence.
Wish I could, sir. That seismic event originated directly beneath our new contact.
Nothing we have would even make a dent in that thing. If you two have any more bright ideas, now's the time.
The first priority is to build a chamber to house that chair. They're calling it the Gollop Chamber. They've also started construction on psionics lab several days ago. But while all of that's going on, the aliens are not at rest. There is another terror attack, so the commander assembles his best crew and sends them off to deal with it. Well, good friend, that's going to wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join us next time for Operation Devil's Serpent in Acapulco, Mexico, as the soldiers do their best to stop yet another alien terror attack.